Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Tim Bradley challenges his Gervonta Davis Shakur Stevenson verdict that could be his downfall. Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson are both undefeated lightweight champions with the opportunity to unify the belts and make their case for the best in the division. The two American fighters have long been considered as some of the best of this era, but the lack of top opponents has left fans frustrated. As one of the most sought-after contests in the sport, predictions are not in short supply. Speaking to social media just 2 weeks ago, Hall of Fame fighter turned analyst Tim Bradley said Stevenson wins the fight with no problem whatsoever. Call me whatever, keep coming at me, keep bringing that hate. I like this fight. He beats Tank, he outboxes him very easy with no problem whatsoever. Gervonta Davis knocked out the previously undefeated Frank Martin last time out. The calculated, patient and ultimately destructive performance drew praise from all corners of the boxing world. Stevenson followed it up with a successful title defense of his own, a routine if underwhelming points win over former marathon opponent Artyom Maratounian. The defense-first performance has been criticized and branded as boring by some in the sport. With both fights in mind, Bradley told he now sees a road for Davis to get the win. Yeah, Shakur's last performance has changed my assessment of the fight. I've still got Shakur, but I can see a path to where Gervonta can beat him. I can see it. I can see a path to where Gervonta can catch him and hurt him and knock him out. When you put heat on Shakur, he is so defensive that he doesn't throw punches. Nothing is returned, so you can mount an attack on him and let your hands go, and you are not going to receive any counter punches coming back. I think Gervonta knows that. If he starts moving back on his bike and Gervonta is coming forward, Tank's going to be called the aggressor, so now I can see Gervonta winning the fight. When I thought that he could not on the scorecards and not knocking out Shakur, the inactivity behind his defense could be his downfall, Tim Bradley said. A racing star who has sparred Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson has no doubt who wins the fight. Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson are in a position to put two world titles and undefeated records on the line in an extremely intriguing matchup. Fans, fighters and pundits alike want the fight to happen to examine Stevenson's elite defense against Davis' calculated and devastating finishing. That includes racing welterweight star Jalil Hackett, who has done rounds with both in the gym. Speaking to social media, Hackett reflected on Stevenson's last outing against Maratounian. A routine if full points win. He's a very defensive fighter. He knows how to win, I guess you could say, and it isn't always the most entertaining. He went out there and got the job done. I feel like the past few things he's been catching a lot of slack because I guess the fights are boring. To the fans they may be boring, but to a boxing eye he is winning. We used to spar a lot. That was like when I was 13, 15. We haven't sparred since then. Having sparred Stevenson and Davis, Hackett is in a good position to predict the fight all fans want to see. The question is, could Shakur do what he does to a level that would await the Tank for 12 rounds? For Hackett, the answer is no. I like Gervonta in the later rounds by knockout, probably 8 or 9 as Gervonta showed us in the last fight with Frank Martin. It only takes one. The fight was very good all the way till it wasn't. He caught him and it was over. Admitting Gervonta Davis is a special fighter, Shakur Stevenson highlights Gervonta's ability to outplay his own. It is likely that Shakur will be an underdog in a fight against Gervonta Davis. However, while one must acknowledge Davis' skills and contribution, the boxer from New York feels he is deserving of praise and is a treat to the former's legacy. So in his latest interview, Stevenson highlighted that the perception built around Davis' knockouts has downplayed his skills. In addition, Shakur also called out an unbeaten Mexican boxer with 27 knockouts. In his last fight against Artem Maratonian, Shakur Stevenson showed excellent defense and vision. Shakur would know Artem's limits, lean back in proximity, bob and weave, and let his opponent punch the air. His defense and vision were infested with confidence and accuracy. In one word, it was unflinching. So yes, while Gervonta has the ability to KO his opponents, Stevenson has his defense and IQ. But the boxer from Newark complains that in the light of Davis' power, fans underestimated his techniques. People are blessed with different abilities. He's blessed with a God-given ability that if he cracks you, 9 times out of 10 you are gonna go down. I'm blessed with amazing eye, began Shakur. I can see punches coming my way and get away from them, added Shakur. They probably are judging from me a scale of him, and at the end of the day, he is great fighter, he is special fighter, but I'm special in my own right too. However, as per the updates available, Shakur Stevenson may not get his hands on Gervonta Davis soon, as Gervonta is in the process of sealing a deal with Ryan Garcia's rematch. For that reason, Stevenson called out a different opponent. Who is he? Shakur calls out the third best lightweight boxer in the world. The title defense against Artem Maratonian was Shakur Stevenson's last fight with top-rank boxing, and he thinks, among others, Mayweather Promotions can be a viable option given they offer him a deal better than the 15 million top-rank offer at the boxer recently. But while Shakur decides on his next promoter, the boxer is sure about his next opponent. So he called out the third best lightweight as per the Ring magazine. Where is William Zepeda? Where is he? That's the fight we need. We're going to keep hyping him up to fight these guys that he's stopping in 3-4 rounds because he throwing value. And the non-stop punching these dudes ain't in the shape that I will be in, Shakur said. If Gervonta gonna go fight Ryan Garcia, why can't I find maybe the harder fight? With that said, do you think Gervonta Davis' abilities should outshine Shakur? Let us know in the comments below. Gervonta Davis' coach believes Gervonta could decode Floyd Mayweather's defense in a fight. Could we ever see this Super Bowl take place? Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. have traded insults in recent months, enough for Gervonta's coach Kenny Ellis to make a big statement. Gervonta Davis could decode the shoulder roll. Ellis took to social media account and said, betting on his charge to solve Mayweather's complex defensive strategy in the ring. If Floyd can fight another exhibition, he can fight another fight. If he is as great as he says he is, let's stop spinning the fence. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.